Welcome back to the channel, you guys. So I did want to discuss a few things regarding the Dark Magician deck and the current state of Yu-Gi-Oh! I know I haven't been on the channel as much as I should because I've been busy, but I try to cover the videos here and there when I can, just kind of sneaking in a video, like I said, here and there whenever I can. So what we're going to be talking about this time is talking about particularly 3 or 4 decks, or I'm going to be transferring onto that, and we're going to be taking a look at those specific profiles. Now, there's a lot of people switching to the the Dragoon Turbo once again, but that's obviously not going to work because, as you guys have seen, I've been showing you footage and video like live of duels, and I'm establishing somewhere around 6 negations, 6 interruptions. It could be like 3 negations, 3 interruptions, something like that, like a mixture, right? And when I show you, the opponents break the board. They're breaking the board. So it's a lie that they're saying Dragoon can win. Even like a Dragoon and an Ash is not enough. Even when I have 6 negations on the board, that is still not enough. So don't believe those fake Dark Mission players. Unfortunately, sadly, I think Sam from Team Samurai is changing over to the dark side, so they're now teaching also that Dragoon is going to be winning. But I think on his defense, he was talking about Master Duel, not the TCG. On TCG, Dragoon is trash. Also, having like 6 negations and interruptions is not enough to win a duel. So back in the days, like in the year 2020, like 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, when you had 3, it was good. But nowadays, you have to have at least 6 to 10 negates just to stand a chance. I know the locals isn't as strong, but once you go into regionals and nationals, it has to be like extremely broken hard. And to be honest with you, check out my videos and you'll see for yourself. I'm not making any of these stories up. You're going against draw. You can't special summon. Sometimes you can play your spells. You can play your traps. You can play monster effects, and those are just the beginning. Just the beginning of what's waiting for you. So you see me go through the Ash, go through the evenly matched, the Imperm, the Draw Lockbird, and they hit you with the Kaijus. They're hitting you. There's all over the place. The decks are very broken. It's very difficult for casual players nowadays to have fun. So the other things that you're having to deal with are like the opponent is using cards like it could be like Lightning Storm, Feather Duster. They're using Thunderbird, Danger, Bigfoot. Like there's a lot of destruction cards for your back row. They're also destroying the front. There's a lot of decks splash with a lot of different engines. You're having to deal with like at least four different engines on some of the decks. I've seen some decks that go like too far where they have like 6 engines, but the ones that particularly work well is somewhere around 2 to 3 or even 4 engines, and they're pretty broken strong. And I've been showing you the duels. So I guarantee you 100% go to your famous Dark Mission channels, and I would say the majority, I wouldn't say all, but the majority are fake because they're not showing you how to go through draw in the same turn, through Ash, through Imperm, to Lightning Storm, through Feather, all in the same turn, not like in another turn. You have to deal with all of it in the same turn. And then they're also playing the Lightning Storm, like I was saying, and their decks are broken. You have to deal with like 10 negates and interrupt per turn. And then when you summon Dragoon, it's trash. To the top tier players, Dragoon is trash. He's really nothing. So if you're seeing some Dark Mission players showing you that Dragoon wins duels, or they're not taking any Ash, that's because they're fake. But right now, Ash is like very common. Getting rid of your Dragoon is very common, and it's all in the videos. Like the proof is in the videos. You guys go ahead and watch it. I uploaded one that was in the theaters. I put it on the theaters to make it fun for people to watch. And when you see it and slow down the video, that on the 2 duels, it was 6 negates and interrupts. And the opponent just walks through all of it, and it just throws everything together with Dragoon. And then the other one, the opponent did the same thing. I won the match because we had full matches, and I showed you the ones that were the most powerful that you could see, that they're just walking through everything. And the other guy, he could have easily walked through 6, but then at the end he was not going to be able to go through the Dragoon. And that's why I posted the video so you can see it. But we had 6 negates and interrupts. I think it was 3 negations, 3 interruptions for each of the decks. and we can stop everything, but it's like top decking. They're extremely powerful, so I already know because I've done my own research. I went through YouTube, and everybody's uploading fake rigged videos of the Dark Mission community only. But you can see that I still win my duels on top of all that. So we're gonna be moving on to the decks, talking a little bit about them, and if you can beat these decks, we're gonna be doing a giveaway, and we're gonna start like a hit list to see, and also the hit list is gonna be to encourage people to go up to the next level to see, put some what's it called? I want to use the word some goals so that you can test yourself to see how good you are. There is no existing profile I can't beat. I've beat them all. I've showed you the list. But I want everybody else in the Dark Mission community or people who are outside the Dark Mission community who also be winning duels against these decks. So we're going to be moving on to the profiles, and you guys stay tuned. And thanks for tuning in. So here's the first deck. The first deck that we're going to be talking about here is, as you already know, Rescue Ace. So Rescue Ace, as you already know, it's been in the format and it's been dominating. It's actually very, very broken. I beat all the versions of it, including the Diablo Star with it, and but regardless, the deck is broken. It's broken. Contrary to what people teach you that I do against weak players, I do against weak decks, and this and that. All of those things are lies. You can see the decks establishing like 6 to 7, even 8 interruptions per turn. And they say like, oh, Jay's rigged it and this and that. Go look at their channels. They can't even handle 2 negations and 2 interruptions. I'm already going past the 10 per turn, on top of the draw, on top of the not special summoning, on top of the you can't use your extra deck, and I'm still winning my duels. So yeah, this is definitely a deck. Quickly how to beat this deck. Basically, you're gonna have to stop the effect of specific monsters that are chaining to bring spell and traps onto the field from the deck. You can use any variety of cards if you want to use any hand traps or you want to use any floodgates or any effect monsters. However you want to do it, that's all the monsters are doing. They're bringing monsters from the deck and also spell traps from the deck, and they're setting them onto the field. So if you can stop that, you're good to go. So the way that I do it is I use skill drain or a combination of negation monsters, and then what I do is when they set their cards face down, I'll trigger Eternal Circle to banish a card in the back row, and then I'll use follow up with Twin Twister to double pop. So Dragoon's on the field, and that's good. That's pretty much it for the duel because the cards are gonna do stuff, but it's not they're gonna do anything to affect you anymore. So you don't want to let the deck get the advantage. The deck is like broken strong. I've never seen a Dark Mission player beat this deck. I have about 6 duels on my channel. I beat it, and you've seen it where it has like 8 interruptions per turn. Like it's impossible to win, and I still beat the deck. I uploaded a recent one. All of these decks are undefeated. It's not a joke. And we're gonna be moving on to the next one, but it is a fire deck, and it's gonna be getting somewhat new support. All of these decks are getting somewhat new support. They're gonna be becoming more and more broken. Labyrinth. Labyrinth is not discussed, especially in the Dark Mission community. It's like taboo. One of the reasons for that is because they're scared of it. Just like Flunderies, they're scared of Labyrinth. When you ask a Dark Mission player, can you beat a YCS Labyrinth deck? They probably won't respond, or they'll never even talk about it. In fact, Dark Mission channels don't even talk about tier 1 and tier 0 decks because they can't beat them. They can't even beat rogue decks. What makes you think they can beat top tier Dragoon is complete trash for Labyrinth because they have so many cards that they can out the Dragoon, and people always say it's not true. Nobody can stop Dragoon. There's no deck that could. Those are all lies. Come to my channel. I've summoned 3 Dragoons and they get rid of all the 3. So there's a lot of ways to get rid of Dragoon, and Labyrinth can get rid of Dragoon just like all of these top tier decks. So Labyrinth is based all on traps. If you can stop the traps or keep up with the popping effect of the traps, you stand a chance. If you don't, if you let the traps start taking over, you're finished. So what does the deck do? What does the deck do? So it special summons from the deck and also brings traps from the deck or from the graveyard back onto the field. And then monsters are special summoned. They can discard your cards. They have effects. They send cards back to the deck, and then they use it in combination with evenly matched. And they have Bestial or Bestial in it. And then on top of that, they can play Epidemic Virus, so they can negate all the spells that you're playing. So it is a broken deck. It's super super strong. All of these decks murder Dark Magician, especially the Turbo doesn't stand a chance because they're teaching you play Crossout Designator and bring Dragoon out, and then you do all that hard work to bring Dragoon out, and then they get rid of Dragoon like nothing. And that's because you're believing the fake community. One Omni Negate is not good. You need close to 10. I've shown you guys. I'm already doing 11, 12 negations and interruptions. One of those is Dragoon. So I'm having 10 negates and interrupts and Dragoon on top of it all. And that's how I win in my duels. But if you have Dragoon by itself, you suck. You're not going to beat anybody. You might be able to squeeze to your locals if the locals are weak, but when you go to regionals and nationals, you don't stand a chance. We're going to be taking a look at another deck. So this is a structure deck. A lot of these structure decks are very strong. The Fire Kings. So the Fire Kings, as I've told you guys before, the Fire Kings, they have a lot of spells, and then their monsters pop themselves, and then they work with the graveyard and they come back. They have a field spell, and that's all they do. They can they play the Snake Eye cards, the Diablo Star. They can put it in there. They also sometimes play a small engine of Horus on top of it all. It's very ugly, very nasty. They can XYZ, and they do. And then they can link also. They link a lot. They link in the XYZ, and it can play Super Slayer, and it has its own monster. And this deck is broken. It really is. It really is. If you can stop its spells and you can stop them from using effects in the graveyard, there's plenty of cards that do that. Like if you can banish their cards, banish them when they go to the graveyard with like a shifter or anything that you can play a DD Crow, you're gonna be set because you're gonna murder the resources. You can also play some of those regular common cards, or they're like rare cards. Deck lockdown, I believe, because a lot of these decks are bringing stuff from the deck and putting it on the field, and they also bring it from the graveyard onto the field. And deck lockdown, they stop all of this stuff. You can play Gravekeeper's Inscription. There's just so many cards you can play to shut down the bringing stuff from the deck or bringing them from the graveyard. Once you do that, the deck is dead. I did beat this deck, but I'm not gonna lie. In the matchup against Dark Magician, this is probably the strongest one because, like, I'll play a full match and I'll lose like 3 matches in a row, and then I'll win 1 match, and then I'll lose 2 matches and I win another one. So it's not good. It's not a good percentage. It's not a good win percentage. I lose more against the deck that I do, but I can't beat it. I beat this deck already. It's just the correct combination of cards. Some of these decks haven't been touched by the ban list, so they're like broken strong. This deck's gonna have more support. It's gonna be, a lot of people are arguing the fact that it's gonna be reaching tier 0 status, so it's gonna be very, very powerful. And that's gonna be it for the main decks. Everything else is kind of trashy and weak, especially against Dark Magician. Yeah, especially against AC 130. And the only way that I noticed that I could keep up was by changing my extra deck to the top tier format, by putting the SP Little Knight, the Super Slayer. There's a lot of combination of cards. I'm gonna be showing you guys some combos and whatnot, and then the 6 and 8 pop with the Dark Magician deck pretty soon now. Guys, leave a like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions or concerns, let me know. Write down your thoughts and what you think and what bad matchups you guys have. And then we're gonna be looking forward to the Rarity Collection too. I'm gonna get ready, and then also the Magician Souls comment. I should be getting them in about a week or 2. And then I'll have them for sale if anybody needs them. And if you have any questions or concerns, you can go visit the shop as well. I have the $1 card shop, and I'll be putting out some anime and whatnot. If you have any questions or concerns, let me know, you guys. And with that having been said, you guys, Dark Magic Attack.